Family constellation is a modality of therapy, an approach of therapy which aims to uncover hidden patterns in a family. Its foundation is based on humans in general. We are incredibly loyal to our family system, and we do anything to belong to a system. So for our belonging to the system, for longing to belong, we can even give up our own existence for out of blind love. It's a therapeutic work which was originally developed by Bert Hellinger, who is a German ex-priest and psychoanalyst, philosopher, and he has a huge baggage that he brings with him from knowledge of different works, different fields, and he developed this modality by a phenomenological approach to observing his clients, observing family dynamics. One of the priorities of a family constellation is to uncover hidden patterns, hidden dynamics within the family system. And these dynamics can include unresolved conflicts, unacknowledged emotions, unfelt emotions that were strong in the system, patterns of behavior passed down through generations, and loyalty to certain family members. So I'm going to expand a little bit on that. And for instance, you come into a system, you're a new soul into a system, and there is a huge pain that wasn't felt. Like your grandmother lost her mother when she was a child. And obviously because she was a child, she didn't have the emotional tools or the emotional ability to deal with that huge loss. And then she grows up and she has your mother, and this interrupted love is passed down. Your grandmother was affected by this huge impactful. She was affected by this huge impactful pain that she felt when she lost her mother, and this obviously affected how she related to her mother, and it created a dynamics in the family because she didn't have the relationship she had with the mother. So she could either be putting her child, your mother, as her mother, and treating her as if she's older, asking her for advice, asking her to do this and that, as if like to replace that big hole that she has, that she lost her mother and she can't deal with the pain and the grief. She didn't have the way to deal with it. So she starts putting her own child in that position, looking to fill that gap of, oh, I didn't have my mother, please be my mother now. But this is all unconscious, okay? This is all unconscious level. And these dynamics, they are there, this is like the big elephant in the room that no one talks about. So there was a huge pain, there was a huge unfelt emotion, and this is passed down, and out of loyalty to that family, out of love, out of blind love, we follow this same dynamic. So we have a child, and we tend to then out of blind love do the same thing, put our child as bigger than us, put our child in a position like, I didn't have my mom, so now can you please help me, or child, please be my source of strength, or my source of support, or my source of and we end up unconsciously repeating the same patterns out of loyalty, out of blind love to our family system. I want to belong to the system, I'm going to repeat this pattern. And we don't realize we're doing this until we end up going to a family constellation session, and then we see the dynamics of the family. However, the constellator uses whatever method they use to uncover this hidden dynamics. And the most important thing to remember also is to always, the way we look at things, the way we look at the family dynamics is not judging, is non-judgmental, is always with a lot of love and respect to that family system and to the ancestors that came, and all the pain they suffer and all the strength they carry with them to preserve life. So your ancestors' dream was for you to be here today, and life was preserved. So we always have to look with a lot of love and a lot of respect to all they carried in order for us to be here today, accessing all the things we have access to. It was all because of them, all the sacrifice they had, everything that happened to them. then we can be here and be thankful for our life, and always have a lot of respect for the life that was preserved. And in family constellation, we use the phenomenological method of perception, which is a method of deep, clear, and present perception. So how do things feel? Sometimes we see clients that go to the head and ask why this, why that, or what does this mean, or what does that mean? And then we ask for them to focus on their body. How does it feel in your body? And then sometimes when they go to the mind, it's just a defense mechanism to avoid coming in contact with the feeling. So once we are able to verbalize that feeling, oh, I feel sad, then they are able to process that sadness. And then the sadness will come, and then they can go and be free to feel the next whatever it is. Oh, now I feel connected to my mother. Oh, now I feel connected to my father. So once you verbalize that feeling that was there, but it wasn't said because they weren't allowed to stop and feel sad, because they had to continue their lives, because they had things to do, because they weren't allowed to deal with the pain. It would be too much for that moment in time, for the emotional stage that they were developing. If it was childhood that when it happened, then they are able to, now I feel a bit freer. Now I can say, Mom, I miss you, or Mom, I wish you looked at me like you look at my brother. Mom, things that were never allowed to be said or were never allowed to be felt in a family, then they have a place, and then they can move past that. And it's like a stepping stone. Then it becomes, okay, now I can move past this, and then I can develop my love circle even higher and higher and bigger and bigger. I'd like to leave a quote from a family constellator from Brazil. He explains it beautifully on how the field works, this field of a family constellation that we access when we are in a session. And his name is José Marques, and he's a very big constellator in Brazil. And he said, in the field of constellation, things simply happen, because there we rebuild the family system in which we were born and to which we truly belong. This family system has existed for millennia, and many generations have left their energy imprinted on them. This means that generation after generation, we are impacted by this cycle of family energy that accompanies us in our DNA and often manifests unconsciously in our actions, ways of thinking, and behavior in various moments.